Good morning.
Hello.
Sundays with Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Here we are.
One
Nowhere
of my
else to
favorite
be.
times of the day.
So, I wanted to talk about a blog that I had written a while ago, and it was called Go With What You Know. And in Living Love, often you are encouraging us to go with what we know versus what we think.
I'm always. That isn't.
Okay,
that's
there's an
always.
Yes. And how so many times I will hear myself and friends and family say, well, I know this. And I know while they're speaking that it actually is their mind, and it's not coming from their heart. So how can we know the difference, whether we're coming from our heart or not? Because the ego is so tricky and it's just crafty.
When you're coming from your heart, there's a peace and a universal loving that is occurring that gives you the confidence to go with whatever you need to do to comply with what you know. For instance, if you know something about a relative that you need to have a conversation about, and your mind is afraid of that conversation because you're afraid of how the relative might reject you or will take what you're saying or tell you to go blow off somewhere or whatever you're afraid of. If there's fear, you're in your head, and there's no fear when you're in your heart.
But often people think that they are in their heart. I mean, they are just, no, I knew to do this and I did it, and it's like, no, that was from your mind.
What occurs, you know that right away because you resist whatever occurs. If you don't like what showed up, you will make yourself unhappy. When you do things from your heart, no matter what shows up, you know that you were supposed to do that, from which to learn, and so forth. So there's continual peace. There's not that rocky road, I know, but then it turns out a certain way that you don't like, and you throw your peace away. So with what you know, there is continual peace. That doesn't mean there won't be difficulty.
Or things you like.
Right, well, yeah, and you learn, the more you trust what you know, the more you learn to accept the totality of what you know. And so it's always best to trust what you know, even if you don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Often I don't like what I know.
Yeah.
And serving love often doesn't look like it's serving love to people's mind because
exactly.
You say no, you say things that they don't want to hear.
Yeah.
It's not the, oh, you go girl, it's not, serving love isn't that. And sometimes it is.
Yeah. And when you are committed and surrendered to serving love, then you're prepared for the rejection or whatever difficulty shows up. It's a safer place to be. Mm-hmm. Because you don't rely on other people's validation,
good opinion,
acceptance. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, I love that because it's just one of those muscles that we do need to strengthen.
And it helps you to understand the power of the universe, of the Creator, that is always with you in your darkest hour. The Creator loves you, will never abandon you, will never take your choice away, even if you want to go off half-cocked and listen to your mind and do whatever you do. The Creator just loves you anyway. And that helps us when we know that and we experience that. It helps us to do the same thing with people who are doing things that we know are going to be very difficult for them. Mm-hmm. The best we can give them is our acknowledgement that this is not in your best interest, and then just love them through it.
Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons a lot of us don't do that is because then we think we look like the know-it-all, mm-hmm, or the ego.
I love when people call me a know-it-all because I say, yes, I do know it all, and so do you. I'm willing to bring up what I know and stand on it and take the heat from anybody who calls me a know-it-all. and I know that those people know it all too. It's just like, biblically speaking, God is speaking to everyone all the time. Not everyone is listening and being obedient. And so,
And even more than that, hearing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. You first listen, then you hear, and then you obey. Love. And then it just becomes the easier way to do things. You don't have to rely on thinking it all out. You just
Pro and con list.
Yeah.
I mean, therapists love that pro and con list, and therapy it worked for me for a while, and it was a stepping stone.
Exactly.
To living love. I'm not saying that therapy is wrong per se. It's
whatever it works. I know
it worked while it worked.
Yeah.
And then I needed to move on.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know a lot of therapists are very well intentioned and heartfelt, and some are not. It's just like in religion or anything else. Some people are sincere, some are not.
Let's speak about doubting your doubt, and when in doubt, don't, and the little tools you have in your Here Now book.
Yeah.
Explain those for us, please.
When in doubt, you're in your mind, because in your core, in your knowing, in your wisdom, your love, you don't doubt. You see very clearly the ups and downs and the ins and outs of things, because you have greater vision when you're in your core mind, your heart mind, and you don't doubt, because there's guidance and strength in the obedience that you surrender to what you know. In your mind, there's the what if game. What if I do this and it doesn't work out? What if he doesn't love me after all? What if? And I encourage people to get in their hearts and play the what if game for themselves. What if he does love me? What if it does work out? What if, if you're going to play the game, why torture yourself with it? Play it to win. And
doubt your doubt.
Yeah, and doubting your doubt means, oh, I know I'm in my mind, so I'm going to see that as a thought, let it pass, and go deeper to what I know, not what I think.
And if you're unwilling to do that, which many of us are, when in doubt, don't do anything at all then. If you're not willing to doubt your doubt,
if you
don't make a move.
Mind say, if you're asking the question, should I thus and such, not now, not this moment, because you wouldn't be asking that question if you knew. So wait, just breathe and relax and go deeper and wait. Bring your mind into submission instead of always bowing to your mind.
So many people use meditation to do that.
Or medication.
Oh, there you go. So let's speak about meditation, because I know that you were a yogi and you knew how to do pretzels with your body and all that.
And the meditation, when people say I'm learning to meditate, they're talking about an act of doing something. And meditation, after you have learned the concept, the following your breath and being still, then you learn what meditation really is everything. It's just like God is everything. Meditation, in the truest sense, is every moment.
Being here now in every moment.
Exactly, so that you don't sit for 15 or 20 minutes in meditation and then get up and go frantically doing what you do. You sit if you want to. I don't generally sit anymore. I have a bad back, and this is about the extent of my sitting. And so you get up and you pick up the meditation and you take it with you, and you are it and it is you. So that it's all meditation, so that it's so much easier to surrender to the what is, whatever that happens to be moment to moment, than to, I better go meditate and make this okay. And, you cannot stop the world. You cannot stop the action. For instance, I've had near-miss car accidents, and I was with my youngest daughter once. We were on our way to Santa Fe from Phoenix, and when we got to close to Santa Fe, there was this icy patch, and we got off onto the railing. What do you call that railing thing?
Yeah.
And so
Guardrail.
Guardrail, yeah. And as soon as I saw we were going off that road, I said, "Robin, relax." And we were fine because we didn't stiffen up and
You
fight.
said relax in that moment, that
Right.
very moment
I
of.
said, "Robin, relax." And she did, and she slid off into the floor, and I just stayed where I was.
Wow.
And we were just fine, and did some damage to the front of the car. And so that's what I mean about...
Did you do an instant jump, though? You know, what about your amygdala and your brain, just that instant jump?
When I saw it, my body reacted to... although I didn't, my body reacted to the challenge, and then I took over. You see, because when you've got your mind trained, then it works for you. You don't just go off crazy into it.
Yeah, I love it. Well, this concludes another Sundays with Cinnamon. Thank you so much. Yeah, it always does. Yeah. I love these.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, bye-bye.
I love you all. Thank you for being here, whoever is.
Bye.